wonderful people of the internet and of Wesley McCann's YouTube channel. Today, Wesley's asked me to come on and talk a little bit about the new series of Doctor Who fan audio adventures, which, if you don't know, I'm the Doctor. So today I'm going to answer 3 simple questions about the new series of Doctor Who fan audio adventures. So, you probably don't know who I am, but basically, I am a Who-tuber who has a very little channel called Team Drew, which you should go subscribe to, not point that out or anything. But basically, I came to be involved in Doctor Who fan audio adventures sort of after the first series, where I started writing scripts and stuff. Unfortunately, none of them got in because obviously Series 2 only had 2 episodes. But I did turn up in episode 1 of Series 2, where I was an old man called Rollo. So yeah, I'm in that as well, and of course I'm also, I've also played the Doctor before in me and my friend Harry Williams' sort of comedy series thing. I don't know how to describe it, but basically I play a character called the 6th-ish Doctor, who's a bit all over the place and a bit mad, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So, who is my Doctor? I was trying to come up with a way to describe the difference between me and Tom's Doctor, and I think the best way to describe it is we are the 2 halves of Matt Smith. Because if you remember, Matt Smith's Doctor had these really dark moments, especially in, I think, The Beast Below, there's one where he's like, "No human has anything left to say to me today." And I think that was much more Tom's Doctor, you know, very much saviour of the universe, whereas my Doctor is going to be much more madman in a box. Obviously, this does not mean by any chance that Doctor Who fan audio adventures is not going to stay its good dark self. I think some of the episodes, Doctor Who fan audio adventures in its own self, is very different from normal Doctor Who, because we can take a lot of liberties with it, and we can also, like, put more stuff into it, which is something I've done in the first episodes, because you can make it darker and more adult-friendly than you can the actual TV series. And this is something Wesley's been trying to do for ages, and so has Colin, who, if you don't know, also works on the series. And it's something I really like the idea of, but my Doctor's going to be a bit more emotional than Tom's Doctor. It's going to be less about the greater good than about real people and his emotion with them, which I think is kind of a good thing. My Doctor's also a bit nuts and a bit all over the place. You may have heard the new trailer, and there's some bits in that where he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna," yeah, where he's all over the place and he's shouting at Jenny at different names of companions and stuff. Most of that's due to the post-regeneration thing, but that does sum up my character pretty well. He's a bit all over the place, and he's a traveller more than anything. He wants to go see the universe. He's not out there to go fight the aliens. He just happens to bump into them every single day. Now, an aspect of the Doctor which you probably won't think is important, given the fact that it's an audio series, is the costume. But I think it is kind of important, because it helps you visualise the characters. Whenever I'm listening to something that's audio, I always visualise it in my head. I watch a little movie in my head with, you know, it telling me stuff, and you come up with your own interpretation. But I think costume is important to visualising characters. You see this in Big Finish, where they changed Paul McGann's costume, and it changes the way you see the series. If you remember, Tom's Doctor has a very formal outfit, which is kind of like a blue coat and a suit, and he's got, you know, sharp trousers on. It does look a bit rough all around the edge, just showing that he's like this man of action and stuff, but it's very, you know, I'm doing a William Hartnell then, I shouldn't be. It's a bit more like, you know, Matt Smith, whereas my costume is a bit more Christopher Eccleston, I'm going to say, in that it's a bit more relaxed. However, the classic Doctors are much more flamboyant with their thing, and I've gone for a sort of hybrid of both, which I hope you like. I don't wear this jacket for fun. This isn't something I wear normally, but this is something I thought would suit my Doctor. You may notice the collection of badges on there. There's a little Easter egg in there. Try to guess what it is. And so yeah, all these badges and stuff. I think the outfit is thing. There's a picture of it. So yeah, it's got all these different things. It's sort of a combination between smart, surreal, because I don't think anyone ever would wear that collection of clothes around, and it's sort of a combination of lots of different things. So yeah, that's sort of an important thing. And as to the Doctor during the series as a whole, the Doctor's going to change during the series. I think he's going to start off a bit more, as I said, man in the box, but I think he's going to have to toughen up in this series. I've read quite a few episodes, and the problem with coming into it is lots of episodes were written for Tom's Doctor, but you know, they need to be changed and stuff, and we're working on that at the moment. But you know, there are dark moments in it, and I think my Doctor's going to have to toughen up. So, what is the death market? This is an on-purposely ambiguous question, because you probably already know it's the first episode of the new series of DWFAA Series 3, but basically, I've written it, and which in itself sounds a bit bad, but hold on, there's a story to this. So, I wrote it for Tom's Doctor, which is sort of odd, and I'm really, really happy with the story, because it's been through so many rewrites. I wrote it for Tom's Doctor, and then Wesley was like, "Hey Joe, do you want to make a regeneration story?" And I was like, "Yeah, cool." So I wrote it for a completely different Doctor, who was sort of like a Colin Baker type character, no, but someone else, and it basically, there were loads of scenes in it that have gone now. There's millions of changes. There was a scene in it originally where the Doctor gets chat up in a bar and he doesn't really work out what's happening. And there's a bit where he dives out a window on like a hover bike or something. And they've gone now, which is a shame, because diving out a window would be cool. But hey, I get to do something cooler. So, no spoilers, obviously. But yeah, so I wrote it for all these different people, and then Wesley was like, "Joe, do you want to try being the new Doctor?" And I was like, "Yeah!" And then, now I'm the new Doctor, and he was like, "Make your episode." So, basically, it's been through loads of changes, but I think it's a really good episode. Well, that's a bit, you know, because I wrote it, but I think it's, the episode's designed to sum up the changes between me and Tom's Doctor. And it's designed to sum up everything that's happened before in DWFAA, all the big moments, like, you know, the destruction of Fendal, the Christmas episode with the monk. They're all bits of those combined into a new story, which should create sort of a link between me and Tom's Doctor and the way that we change. And it's sort of meant to be an episode where we see the Doctor change, because not just in a literal sense, in the whole face bobbing, but in a way that sort of, you know, changes the character for maybe the better, maybe the worse. You shall see. So yeah, that's what Death Market is. In terms of how it's going to fit in with the rest of the series, we don't really know, because, you know, the rest of the series is still changing and stuff, and Wesley's, you know, still deciding on things, so it's going to be really good. But yeah, so I'm hoping that it'll leave an impact in the rest of the series, and that this will be an episode where you can go back to it and say, "Oh, that's what happened then," which will be really exciting, and I'm really looking forward to you guys enjoying it. There's loads of special guests and stuff who have come in to voice it, including YouTubers you might know. Obviously, Amber's back, which I'm really happy about, because Jenny's a really cool character, especially with that whole, like, she's Jenny Manning now, which is really cool. And then, of course, Who Are Dick's Reviews are going to be in it, if you've seen the pictures and stuff. We've got James and Matthew, and they are playing two very different characters from each other. But that'll be really exciting. And then, of course, we've got Taylor Mason in it, who used to be called Kermit Productions, and it was called Taylor Presents. I don't know what he's called now. He changes his name every month. Crazy Taylor, stop it. But he's playing a really sort of authoritarian character. And then we've got Jay Kent in it, who, if you don't know, is a very comedy type person. And he's playing the most serious role. He's playing the Daleks. The Daleks are in it. something I should have mentioned earlier. Yes, the Daleks are in it, and something I really wanted to put in this episode was just how ruthless the Daleks can be, because I am getting fed up in actual Doctor Who of when the Daleks are there and it's like, oh, now there's a good one, or oh, now there's something different with the Daleks, or oh, we're going to kill them with sewer Daleks. The Daleks are killing machines. That's what they were in the classics, despite the fact they had the Civil War and stuff, and you're going to get to see a sort of return to that, hopefully, in this episode, which is the first Doctor Who fan audio adventure to contain the Daleks, which I'm so happy I got to write. So, yeah, loads of exciting stuff is going to happen in this episode. I can't really talk, because obviously I wrote it, I'm going to be happy about it, but I've shown it to some people. Wesley described it as funny, dramatic, and action-packed at the same time, and the other people I've shown it to, they've really liked it, so yeah, hopefully, you will too. Yeah. Alright, well, that's pretty much all of those questions and stuff answered. I hope you enjoyed this vid and got to find out more about the new series of Doctor Who fan audio adventures. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click subscribe to the Wesley McCammon YouTube channel, and stay tuned for some amazing stuff that's coming up with the Doctor Who fan audio adventures. As well as that, if you want to check out my YouTube channel, there's a link probably in the description below, and there's some really cool stuff coming up on that as well. As well as that, stay tuned on the Wesley McCammon YouTube channel for some more videos. I think Amber might be doing a video like this. If not, Wesley will have edited out this bit where I say that. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this, and click thumbs up.